going on, guys, and welcome back to another video here. My name is Jorge, and of course this is my pro-charged Pontiac G8. Now today we are going to be changing out the brake pads on these really big 6-piston CTSV Brembo brakes. I've had these brake pads on for about 10,000 miles on, and before that I got them used. So the pads, although they have some life, time to kind of freshen everything up. With all this power, you want to make sure you're able to stop. And so we're going to go ahead and change that, make sure that's all good and done. And I'll walk you guys through the process. Apparently Brembos are very easy, a lot easier than even just your non-Brembo type brake pads. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lift this car up from both sides, get it on jack stands, and get the wheels removed. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now the car is completely up and it's time to remove the wheels. Alright, so as you guys can see, I do have the two-piece rotors, which are definitely having some hot spotting, so that could be to those brake pads having some hard spots. So I'm gonna go ahead. The brake pad, this is pretty smooth. A couple grooves here, so we might need to replace this eventually, but for now, the way these Brembos work is actually really cool, because you literally just pop out these two pins and undo a 13mm bolt, pull this pin out, and then this guide shim stuff kind of pops out, and you literally can just slide out the brake pads from the backside. Super simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the other wheel so that it can be ready to go, and then we can start going and replacing these brake pads. Alright guys, so I've removed both wheels, and so what we're gonna use to pop out those pins is gonna be this hammer and this punch here. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out, and then remove those two, and then get that 13mm bolt on the back side of this So we're gonna knock these two pins out, and then this larger pin here has a 13mm bolt on the back side, which, let's see if I can show you guys. Right there is the 13mm bolt. We remove that, and then we can, once that's removed, we can go ahead and pull this pin out, and this metal shim here actually will move out and let us slide the brake pads out. Well guys, definitely be very careful. I got these Brembos used, and it looks like they actually just painted over them, and I actually just ended up chipping them there. Obviously this was a little too wide, so I'm going to use something smaller to try to pop this pin out, because it's still holding on to that. Alright guys, so I got one pin out, and when you get this top one out, as you can see, this thing comes loose, and then now the bottom one is easily taken out. So the hard part is getting one of those two out, and so that you can remove this metal shim. Now we'll go ahead and try to go for this 13mm bolt. Alright guys, so I've removed the bolts. As you can see, it's just like a carrier bolt, and it's got this 13mm that goes right in. Now, as you guys can see, these brake pads are completely able to just come right back out. But to make sure that we got some space, we do have to go ahead and kind of squeeze down on these ends and try to get the brake pads pistons to come back inwards to allow us some wiggle room. So we're going to use just some vice clamps and a little bit of paper. Alright, so as you guys can see, all I did was slide it out, and boom, you get your brake pads now. These brake pads actually look like they got a bunch of life in them, but I can see kind of this hot heat spotting here. So basically what's happening is these things are working, but I mean, they get to a point where they harden and they stop wearing out. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace these with some new ones. Now we gotta do the same thing with the back. So we literally can just kind of squeeze that outward on both ends. Squeeze that piston. Alright, and so now this one comes back out as well. So definitely weren't bad, but because I got these used, it's probably much better to go ahead and replace these with some new ones. So we'll go ahead and get the new replacements. Alright guys, so I went ahead and ordered some Duralast Max. These are supposed to be very, very quiet. One of my cousins actually ordered these, and he said these things work great. These things don't give off a lot of dust, and they are very quiet and don't squeal. As we can see here, look at the kind of some differences here. This has a double slot and this just has a single slot. I'm assuming these were OEM GM brake pads, and these are now obviously aftermarket Max ones. And even here you can see this has like a rubbery kind of texture on the backside, while this was just straight metal to metal. So I can see where some of the squealing might happen here, going back and forth. But we're gonna go ahead and put these on, and hopefully the car does really well. The brake pad kit actually comes with new metal shims. These things, I guess they're spring loaded, and after a while they can lose their tension, so they make sure to supply you with a new set of metal shims. So we'll go ahead and replace those, and to do the replacement is going to be the same thing, just backwards. We'll go ahead and slide those in, throw the main carrier bolt, and then try to put the little pins through, hitting it through the backside. Alright guys, one important thing. See this? It says here that this is organic grease. Now, you want to put this grease on the back of here so that it prevents and it helps with the squealing. So make sure you put, obviously you don't want to have anything on the front surface here, but definitely do want to put it on the back of here. So it comes with some grease. It supplies you with the grease so that you can put it on here and help to lubricate everything. So don't forget the grease, guys. Alright guys, so now I've put back the carrier bolt, both brake pads are in, I've already greased them. Now it's time to put this new shim in that holds the brake pads in place. And there's a specific direction that these will fit in, and you'll see these shorter, kind of curved out flat pins. This is going to be your upper part. This more curved out triangle part is going to be your lower. So that, you'll get your first pin and you'll slide it in, and you'll try to get it through one. And what you'll do is, let me go, make sure that the pin goes over your metal shim and then back through. So let me bring you guys closer here. So this is how you want it to be. You want the pin coming in through the back, and it's gonna go over this metal shim, and then it'll come back up here. So that's kind of what you have to do. So while this is kind of loose here, we'll go ahead and hammer this pin through, and then we can go, and we'll have to use some force to hold this thing down while we run the upper pin upwards. So we'll get the hammer, and we can just kind of so that is through. The pin is good. It's still loose, you know, but it actually will get tension. So this pin goes through, and then now this upper pin has to start sliding through as well. But we have to make sure that it slides through the top part here. There we go. So it gets in there. And now we just kind of keep the pressure so that we can slide this through. And that's it. As you guys can see, this pin goes over that metal shim, and now we have the support here on the top to make, and then the support here on the bottom, and then this pin going up. So we just hammer this in, and that's it, guys. That is a Brembo brake swap on any Brembo equipped cars. Very, very easy. No need to remove the caliper or do any of that stuff and bring it through the bottom. Makes life so much easier. Now we'll just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and we'll be good to go. So guys, that is it for today's video. Obviously Brembo brake pads are very easy now that I've seen compared to others to change out. Really good brakes, and I hope that these new brake pads that I got are going to be better with the brake dust, so I don't have to keep cleaning the welds, and also with any type of squealing, because apparently Brembos tend to squeal, especially with the OEM brake pads. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, put it all back together, and I guess hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.